Welcome to Sam Roberts Wrestling Podcast. Here is Sam Roberts.
And Hype Girl, Katie Linendoll.
Wild, man.
The whole thing?
Yeah, I'm not used to this kind
The last time I saw you, I had one camera and a tripod, and the screen was turned around, so.
I'm more comfortable in that environment. This is very professional.
Well, that's why I'm a professional broadcaster. Welcome here to Radio Row at WrestleMania Access with yours truly, Sam Roberts and Katie Linendoll, the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt. Bray, what's the haps?
Oh. You remember that? Yeah, here we go. I don't know what that means, man. Can't you just say, hey, how are you doing? Or
You can't
good to see you, or congratulations, or how are you, friend? You're like, what's the haps?
You can't put that on a T-shirt.
You can put that on a T-shirt. I won't.
You won't put what's that? Well, listen, it is good to see you, and congratulations. Oh, boy.
I was just making sure it wasn't real.
No. It says 21-0 on it, which is
Should it
incorrectly
say
accurate.
21-2?
This is a big time to be Bray Wyatt, because you've got the big Undertaker match this year at WrestleMania.
Right.
How important was the streak to you? Obviously, that was what the last 22 Undertaker matches have been about the streak. Now the streak's broken, and you're the first guy to pop up after. Is it a bummer? Does it make the match more interesting?
To me, the first 22 matches were about the Undertaker. It wasn't necessarily about the streak. It was just forming this legacy, this empire behind the man we know as the Phenom. And what I like about it is that there is no streak now. There's nothing. There's no reward held over his head like that anymore. There's no pressure. The pressure comes from this year. It's not about him. It's about me. This is mine. I created this. I called him out. I put the road down for him to walk, and challenge was accepted. But it's my time now. It's my match. It's my WrestleMania, and when the Undertaker does show up, he's gonna have to kill me basically, because this is mine. And that's how I really feel.
That said, who has more to lose?
That's a very good question. I tend to think that if the Undertaker loses, where does the Undertaker go? What is left for the Undertaker? It might be the end. Yeah, and what a proud accomplishment that would be, if you go down etched in history. As the guy that ended The Undertaker.
Right.
You are your own legend.
Really
now.
bury him.
Yeah. I mean, you are your own legend right here today. For all of time, you are the guy that took down The Undertaker forever. Brock will always go down as the guy that ended the streak. But to me, and that's even more important. You were the last one to ever share a ring with The Undertaker at WrestleMania.
Why not make this a retire match? Instead of, if you could make it any kind of match, coffin match, you name it, what would your choice have been?
Well, obviously, my forte comes with the less rules, the better. I appreciate the danger involved with all the outside influence. So if I had to choose a match, obviously I wouldn't choose a casket or buried alive, because that's kind of his forte. I'd want it to go more in my ballpark.
Maybe you should stick with that death match idea
hey.
you had.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Murder. Whoever murders the other one first wins.
Something tells me it might be like that anyway.
What do you think of these giant matches for you? Because you're a young guy, and you've been given a big spotlight to shine. You had John Cena last year, which is a huge match. He's the face of the company. You've got Undertaker this year. Is winning and losing that important for Bray Wyatt, or is just having the spot at this point in your career really the reward?
I think a mixture of both. This is something I wanted to get across here. I'm not trying to become Undertaker in no way, shape, or form. I'm trying to be Bray, and I'm trying to create my own legacy. So going forward, all these big matches and all these giant, things that I've done and what I'll do in the future, it all will, end with a message, that I'll be remembered for. And I want one day for a young guy to find out that he is going to be wrestling Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania, and I want everyone in the room to come congratulate him, just like you are congratulating me on, wow, this epic opportunity of getting to wrestle The Undertaker at WrestleMania. I want that,
Do you think more people need? It seems like you think about being Bray Wyatt very differently, almost old school, like the way characters, the way wrestlers used to be. Whereas this is not a character as much as it is an extension of your personality. Nobody really knows where the line is drawn, and you're thinking long term about it. You're thinking Bray Wyatt as Bray Wyatt is going to be around. I'm not just riding a wave. I'm kind of crafting a thing, and this is what works now because 10 years from now, we're still building this road. Do you think more people should think about characters like that when they're developing personalities?
Yeah, I mean, I never saw myself anywhere but this. This was, this is my dream. This was my dream, and it will always be my dream. I'm not one of those people that's like that wants to come here and do whatever and and dance over here and do this and be on Stars and blah 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 stupid shows. This is who I am, and this is what I want to be. Why would I ever want to leave this behind?
Right.
This is this is what I actually care about. I don't know that I could give myself to something as much as I've given myself to this. It just wouldn't be real. And that authenticity, that is what I try to give the people that watch me. I want them to know that I'm not trying to play any tomfoolery here.
Right.
I want them to know that I'm giving them everything, and that I mean everything I say, and every movement I make is all because I just have to have them believe that it's me. It's all me the whole time.
Can we talk about one movement too? I threw out my back a couple weeks ago trying to do a spider walk. Where'd that come from, man?
I you know what? I can't explain it. It just is what it is, and I just. I wonder why no one thought of it before me.
So good. It's so random.
Yoga? Is that a yoga?
I mean, I've tried yoga, and DDP shots out. I check him out, but I'm not really into yoga. I stretch, and I've always been in athletics, and I think I spent my entire life trying to destroy my body, the only body I have. So I've kind of taken stretching, very serious because I have to keep it together as much as I can if I'm going to have this long career. And I don't know. Maybe I'm double jointed. I don't know.
It's incredible.
I can just do it.
but right off of that too, I have to go from the spider walk to Sister Abigail.
Right.
Where did naming the move after your sister come from?
It's not my sister. No, not my sister. Nice try though. Yeah.
Is there a grand plan for that? Like is that one of the, is Sister Abigail one of these concepts? Because you talk about Sister Abigail, you name the move after Sister Abigail, and Sister Abigail as a concept comes up in your promos. Is this just something like I've thought of this thing that sounds mysterious, or is there a game plan in this thing?
I wouldn't do that to you.
Me personally.
Anyone. Oh. I wouldn't give you something that I don't ever think could be. It is something that means a lot to me. She is something that meant a lot to me, and people have asked me that same question before, and they think I'm lying. Well, I don't lie. I have nothing to hide. The Abigail was flesh and blood and real, and breathing just like you and I. She was real, still is. Ooh. And if and when it ever comes, it will happen.
When did things click? Because obviously you had a short career before we saw Bray Wyatt. And, you didn't have a real identity, but you obviously had a passion for what you were doing. When did it click that you were like, wait, this is the person I need to become, this is the person I need to put on display? Like, what was that moment?
When I was forced to be something I wasn't. I was Husky Harris. And that wasn't me. That was fiction. That was fallacy. It was crap. It was something. It was the blueprint of our society is forcing me to be something that I don't want to be, and it took me to a very dark place in my life, where I had to start figuring out things, and I was so miserable and so full of hate and rage that I had to have some kind of outlet, and this became therapeutic to me. Like, you remember. You guys should both remember this. You remember Steve Austin in ECW?
Sure.
When he started becoming Steve Austin, it was the same exact experience. So here's a guy that's been forced to be something because it fit right into the times, Here's pop culture. Be our pop culture guy. Be our pop culture guy. You're not stunning Steve Austin. He never was. He was always the rattlesnake. And when he was allowed to be the rattlesnake is when he came out to light. And the first time I went out there with a mic, and you're supposed to, we used to do like these things where you'd have a minute to talk. And I would do 8 minutes because I didn't care anymore. And if I was going to be let go of me. Let me go.
Yeah.
I just have to let you know that there's more to me. I have to break the rules so that I can grab you and shake you and say, notice me, And that was the only outlet I had. So as much as I could, I would just boom, 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 boom. And I remember the first couple times I did it, I'd walk out and everyone would be like, whoa. It was the first time that I felt that, and it was an addiction, The first time I let it out, and I finally felt like, and I could see it, and it's real, and it works. When all your peers that see this crap over and over and over, they tell you, wow, man, that was really good.
And they don't want to admit it's good because you are competitive.
Right. Yeah, 100%, And when they do, it's an ode, There's really good people in this industry, in this company, and I've been very fortunate.
How great is that, though, to get to that point? At the time, I'm sure it doesn't feel great, but you hear that a lot of people, to really get to the point in your life that you're supposed to be at, you have to be pushed to the point where you're willing to just give everything up. You don't care anymore, and you can finally get there.
That's 100% right, It's like you don't know your limits, man. And I have limits that I haven't faced. I'm sure Undertaker will help me get there, but there's limits, that I haven't reached yet, and it's we only have this one life, man. And if you're not willing to seek and find, things that you can't find from your couch,
Right.
You have to go out there and you have to live, man. You have to see and you have to be. There's so much out there that no one really knows about. But it's these life lessons that are going to develop you, and you're going to live this life that the only one you've got to its fullest potential.
Right.
And I can recommend that, man. Go on a journey, man. Take your life on a different place. Find who you are.
What? Go ahead.
Things click, and you have this moment, and you're feeling it, and it's working.
Yeah.
Is it for you? Was there power in numbers coming out with Luke and Eric? And will there be, or did you like being the front leader of the three of you, and do we ever see that again?
Of course. I mean, there would be, if I had it my way, 100 different Wyatts, over the time. But those two will always be my brothers. We just fit together in a time when three guys that look like us would have been, chopped liver. No one looks at them and says, oh, these guys could maybe change this whole game. No one says that.
And then you have people like me riding the subway with a sheep mask.
Yeah.
You did it, man. True story.
That's what I'm talking about.
I want to switch gears. I have a quick question for you. People were real confused out of context.
That's right. If it results in a fist bump from Bray Wyatt, it's worth it.
Amazing. Entrances for Mania. It's going to be so epic.
Right.
I mean, two of the best entrances with the Fireflies and the Taker. Is it going to be longer than the match itself?
I honestly don't know. We will have to see.
It's exciting.
I know the big speculation that everyone's been asking is whether or not it's going to be in daylight, and I don't know the answer to that.
Ooh.
I would expect not. I mean, it's tough, I guess, because it's starting earlier because it's West Coast. You pretty much have to go on last to be in.
That's been the thing on everybody's minds that they've been asking me, but I don't know the answer. We'll see. I'm not. I mean, I'm sure the entrances will be cool, but that's not where I'm coming from. I'm trying to take out the Undertaker.
Murder a person.
I bet you have this moment though with all those fireflies. That was such an organic thing that happened.
Yeah, and that's true. You know, even the name Firefly, they came up with that. I didn't
awesome.
say. Yeah, I didn't say, "Hey, give yourselves a name." No, man, that's what an ode and respect to me and what I've done. That's how I look at it. As man, how cool it is to give it a little back.
Totally.
To feel it,
But you totally wrecked I grew up loving the song, He's Got the Whole World. You wrecked that for so many children and adults.
That's where I got it from. There was a little girl.
Never sound the same again.
There was a little girl sitting on an airplane or a bus or something, and I was laying with my eyes closed, and I could hear her going, "He's got the whole world in his hands." And I just looked behind her, and she just smiles at me. And I was like, wow, that's deep, man.
Whoa.
And that's where it came from. Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
That's pretty amazing. How did you take the news when you found out that not only were you getting the Undertaker at WrestleMania, but you're talking people into this match? The Undertaker's not going to be on TV. It's not going to be matches leading up to this. It's not going to be promos. It's you for about 6 weeks, just convincing people every week that this is something that they would want to see.
That's what I said, man. That's why this one is so special, because this one is not about the streak. This one is about where is Undertaker? Is the Undertaker? I mean, is the Undertaker? And it's really about Bray Wyatt.
Right.
And this is Bray Wyatt's coming out party. This is my WrestleMania. No one else's. I don't care who's the main event. I don't care who else is on the card. This is my WrestleMania.
Is it difficult for you because the build for this match has almost been separate from everything else that's going on? Like there's everything going on in WWE, and there's everything going on with Reigns and Lesnar, and there's all these storylines happening. Right. And then apart from all that is you ignoring the roster and just talking to this guy who we haven't seen on TV in a year. Do you like being separated from everybody as a performer, or do you kind of wish you were more in the mix of things?
No, there is no better mix than the Undertaker. Yeah. I mean, so whatever they got, they can have their main events and their flashy titles and this and that. I'm right where I need to be.
And would you have preferred to build this match with, like Katie was saying, people behind you, or do you like that in this moment you're completely alone?
I love my brothers. I will always need them, but right now, this is a journey I have to take alone. Mm-hmm. And we all knew that. We all knew what was coming, what I had to do, and what they had to do, and this is something I had to do on my own, and I'm very proud of it, and I will be very proud Sunday night.
When you debuted, I want to get in. I just thought people were chanting because you're talking about Husky Harris, and your first time on TV, people were chanting that name at you. Did you look at that as, all right, I'm going to be able to beat this? Because obviously within a week it was done. Nobody ever thought of that name again. Did you look at that like, I can't believe these fans screwed up my thing? Or was it like, that's going to be temporary because we've got this?
Well, when I heard the roar, I mean, dude, it's such an unexpected thing to see. If you look at how we came, I mean, those things were shot for a bucket of fried chicken and a quarter. You know what I mean? This is just us out in the field. We didn't need all your special effects and this and that, but the impact, that roar when we walked out of there, and we finally said, we're here. And then, whoo, it came up. You weren't there. Were you there? You weren't?
I wasn't in the building, no.
Well, if you were in the building and you were right where I was, you would know this. When I walked out and those idiots started doing that Husky crap, there was a whole section behind them grilling them for doing it.
And you saw that?
Yeah. So it was an immediate respect of nice try.
Right.
You failed. And the people behind them squashing it.
Yeah.
And there'll be one guy randomly here and then to try to impress his girlfriend or whatever he's doing. But that's not, I could care less. When you see them all and they got the lights,
Right.
then, yeah, I know that I've earned their respect.
That's become one of my favorite things to do at events like this is to kind of like creep on your interviews with other people and watch them try to get in like little cute jokes about like your family or your pet. Yeah, and then you just shut them down every time and you give them these death stares. They're like, ah.
Yeah, I've had some really interesting like live.
Oh yeah,
I've had a bunch of them. I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah. There was the one news report. He did a news report where he's on like this like local morning TV show, and it seemed like one of the people kind of knew who he was, and the other person had no idea.
Yeah.
And he just does this kind of like creepy, flirty, kind of demonic, sexual thing where he's just like staring at this chick the whole time, who's the newscaster,
Awesome.
and she had no idea how to handle herself.
None of them ever do because they meet me and they see me and they don't. Okay, cool, party guy with a Hawaiian shirt, but they don't know. They don't know me.
You're a Jimmy Buffett fan?
So I've had guys get my name wrong, and that frustrates me. When they don't know my name, and they're like, tell me about this Sister Jessica, or something like that. And it's like, well, I don't want to be on your stupid news show because I really don't care about what you think. So you know what I mean. So I've had some real interesting run-ins with them.
Do you like that? Like, is that when you go into playtime? You're like, all right, well then we're gonna do this.
It's on.
Once I never started,
Right.
but if they started, it's on.
Because obviously you can handle yourself. If you're doing 8 minutes in a ring by yourself, you can pretty much handle the local morning news team. Well, listen, man, you got to be pumped in a big way for this. Do you have an idea of what happens next, or is this sort of tunnel vision till Sunday and tunnel vision?
I mean, you can't overlook the Undertaker. I don't even care what's next.
Quite frankly, you could be dead on Monday.
Correct. Yeah, all I care about is getting through this one.
Yeah.
And it being everything that I want it to be in my head. That's all I care about. The rest is irrelevant. The future is irrelevant. The future is get through Undertaker.
Right. Cool, man. Well, thanks for hanging out. And good luck, dude.
The haps.
Thank you.